All right, good night, good night. Pro Dumpster Divers back at it again. So I'm going to start doing a new series called Collections. And what these collections are the different things that I actually have. So what we're going to go over today are what we actually call crystal oscillators, okay? And this is for crystal oscillator silver recovery. I'm actually looking at a video of it right now online, which is pretty good. And what the gentleman did is he actually has 1,000 crystal oscillators, and he made a very nice bar of little droplet of silver over there, which is very good. So what we're going to do is we're going to look and see what we actually have here. I'm going to show you how much I actually have, and I have a little board here. So let me back this up and skin this out here. This is my entire collection that I have. I thought I had a bigger bottle, but this is everything I have for silver oscillators. And where do I get these? So inside of electronics, you're actually going to end up seeing them. So let's see if I can actually pull out some stuff for you right now. So I'll give you an example. I actually show this in my previous video here. Inside of this bag here, I actually have a circuit board. Let's just pull out random board here right now. Okay, now on these boards here, okay, this is an actual board, not a motherboard, but these are the boards that you will actually end up seeing that are in electronics. Now looking at this grid pattern here, this is the Goldfinger that you would see. This would have been plugged into a desktop, but not a laptop, because this is the actual cradle. And the cradle here actually gets screwed into the back of the desktop. You can actually see the screws right here, which it would have actually formed. Okay, so those are the screws that came with it. And this goes into the motherboard itself. It plugs in and goes on the back. Now, as you can actually see here, and I'll point this out, this here is a crystal oscillator. Okay, now again, they're scrap. Can they be reused? Possibly, if you find a way to get it off of the board without harming the circuitry itself. If it's possible, it's again, it's not easy with that right now. I am going to pull out another one there. Now, this probably has one in it, but it's smaller. However, this piece, if we can actually look here, does have a crystal oscillator in it. Now, it only has one. Some of the boards, most of the boards you see might have one or two. Some of the boards may have three, depending on what it would be. But we actually do have some gold scrap. So this is an example of where you would actually find crystal oscillators, okay? And they're always gray looking silver type here, and they're always very, very shiny right now. Some of them, I believe, are made out of aluminum there or steel itself right now. So I do believe that some of them are definitely made up of steel right now. I can actually go ahead and double check, because I'm right now looking at a video an Indian gentleman actually did. And what he did is, yeah, the base metal is steel. Base metal is steel. Okay, so I was right. All right, so that's an example of where I find them. Again, they're going to be in electronics. Now, the amount of silver inside of these will usually depend on the size that you actually have. So what do I mean by that? Let's just group up some of these right here. These are the smaller versions of the crystal oscillators you actually see. Any versions or the micro versions of these will be very, very small. Okay, very, very small. All right, these are the average ones that you'll actually have. Now, some of them will actually give you the microfarads on them. For example, they will give you a couple numbers on them. 25.576 Coney. This is a 13.5. This one over here is an H14 31888. Some of them will be for frequency. So if you look at the oscillators that come out of RC cars, they'll give you the megahertz, which is usually 49.3 and 27.5. Right. The sad part is I know the frequencies because of some of the stuff I pull out. Okay. And then the newer ones will be 2.4 gigahertz right now for added range. Now, those are the smaller ones. The less so average ones will be sizes like these that you'll actually find. The writing on them, you'll be able to tell a little bit more. This is 54.00. Wow, this is a pretty good one here. 54.0 all the way out. And it's an SRX 7204. Okay. This one here, you can actually see it. It's in a bit more black here, is an EDC right now, and that would be a 1504, if you can clearly see that without the shine right now, okay? Now, some of them will look like this. Some of the other ones will actually be a box one. Now, the box ones are very good. They're a little bit more rare because they're expensive. So somebody had to spend money on them, but the decimal point of them will be a little bit more fine-tuned. What do I mean by that? Look here, 7.3728M. Railtron, okay? I will look up the company Railtron. So it'll be a little bit more specific when you get to the box ones. So let's look at a box one right here. Ooh, this is an 8 megahertz. So Railtron, okay, company. This would possibly be good if you were doing a private circuit and you wanted to get, like, let's say you wanted to make a walkie-talkie. This would definitely be something that you could possibly use right now. So the box circuits I might keep depending on how they are, and they're definitely very good. This right here is a 24.56. Oh, this matches something. Damn, I moved it away. All right. This is why, again, always look at your scrap before you melt it. Okay. Now, some things are old, that oxidize, like different things like that. Some of the scrap in here is good. Let me see if I can actually get another one. Now, some of them you'll actually find with the blue dots on the bottom of it. They're a little bit more rare. I haven't seen these ones. This is a 50 megahertz one. So this is a very nice one there. Anything that comes in and directly says a megahertz, I would consider it and put it in your speech Ziploc. Only if you can actually get the metal out of it. If it's bent up or you can't see it, it's already gone. So don't even bother. This one here, TXC, is a very good brand, 60 megahertz one. This one actually has all the pins coming out. I might actually keep this and put it in a separate pile right now. That's why the box ones are pretty good. Everything else there would actually end up being scrap. I will show you two more. Okay, we got this one here at 16 megahertz, very nice. But again, this would be scrap. You really can't get the metal out of it. Now, this one here, I remember this one here. This came out of a remote for a plane, a motorized plane. The frequency of this is different. It's 72.43. Reading it is very nice. If I can get the matching one for that, it would be pretty good. These ones more here, 23.29, are actually wrapped. You might see them in special RC cars. These are a bit larger ones right now. B, somebody wrote on that. Let me get you a better one here. This one here, 3.579545. Yeah, this is a bit more rare. It appears to be soldered on the back end. Try not to solder them. Remember that some of these can act like capacitors. You don't want to heat up the inside too much. This might be a 1 megahertz. Very, very nice. But it appears to be a bit... Can you see that? Can you see that a bit damaged right there? That's not very good. Okay. Now, what is the equation for melting this entire pack of beautiful oscillators? So the equations for this right now are 1,000 grams to 8 grams. Okay. So I'm going to write the equation for you right now so you actually have it, because a gentleman, and I'll actually show what he did right here. This is his YouTube thing that I'm watching right now, which is very, very nice. And what he did is he got the silver oscillators. I'll actually show you that there. Okay. And what he's doing is he's pouring it inside. You see that? Those are the oscillators that he actually has. He lets it fume up, which is definitely some of the best parts there. And towards the end of it, he has his actual, oh, sorry about the commercial there. He actually has his very nice silver button, which is definitely pretty good. And that's what he got out of it when he ended up taking the, all right, so that's what he, and his name is Trinity Gold, by the way. Trinity Gold. He filtered out the water. That's his silver piece right there, which is very, very nice. And he puts it out. He gets the silver. He gets the weight set for it. And what he does is he's actually going to weigh it. And he gets 8.6. Okay, I want to make sure everybody understands that right now. Okay, so that's what he got. From 1 kilogram is 8.6 grams. Okay, now what does that mean? Is that very good? Yes, because he actually did a very good video about it. So again, that's Trinity Gold right there. So this is my entire stack. All right. So what he did is that for 1,000 grams, he gets 8 grams of silver, and this is oscillator scrap. Okay, now here's the thing. I have 5,000 grams. Okay, so I have to multiply this here by 5, and if I take 8 by 5, I get 40. So I'm going to get 40 grams of silver if I do this correctly right now. Now 40 grams of silver is pretty good because it's 28.5 grams in an ounce. So I have about more than an ounce of silver here in front of me, which is very good. Here's the thing. When you buy a bottle of nitric and you do everything else, it doesn't come up to being as cost effective as you think it is. So you're going to have to find a way to get poor man's nitric to do all of that to make sure it's easy. All right, that is what I wanted to show you. This is my entire collection of what I have right now. And if you have any questions or anything there, go ahead and give me a call. Text me in the comment section. Yeah, this is what I have. Pro Dumpster Diver.